Hello, everybody. My name is Lynn Plourde, and the reason I am dressed in my Paul Bunyan shirt and my moose antlers is because I'm going to read to you today my book, Happy Birthday, Maine. Maine is 200 years old in 2020. We need to celebrate our great state of Maine, and even if you're from away, I hope that you can enjoy this story. I am the author, Lynn Plourde. Mark Scott Ricketts from Bangor, Maine is the illustrator. He did such funny illustrations. And I want to give a shout out thank you to Down East Books. They gave permission to share this book as a read aloud with all of you. On this inside title page, you can see the chickadee is reading The History of Maine. And then on this full inside title page, you can see the chickadee has a balloon getting ready to celebrate the party for Maine. The story starts. Shh. Can you guys help me with that? Shh. When you're planning a surprise birthday party, you have to be sneaky. Stomp, stomp, clomp, clomp. Help me, everybody. Stomp, stomp, clomp, clomp. We're going to do stomp, 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 clomp, clomp, clomp. Help me, everybody. Stomp, 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 clomp, clomp, clomp. Maybe you did that with your feet. Unless you're Paul Bunyan, unless you're Moose, then it's not easy to tiptoe away to plan a secret party. As Paul Bunyan and Moose reached a clearing deep in the woods, they heard, "Hoo, hoo!" Everybody help me with that. "Hoo, hoo!" "Great question," said Moose. "Who will we invite to the party?" "All 1.3 million residents, of course," said Paul Bunyan, "plus any people from away who want to come too." "But how can we possibly send out that many invitations?" A sky chock full of chickadees replied, "Chickadee-dee-dee, wee-wee-wee." Everybody help me with that. Chickadee-dee-dee, wee-wee-wee. "That's a big job for such wee creatures." Moose looked skeptical. Paul Bunyan shrugged. "Chickadees are the state bird. It's the least they can do." And they did. They're bringing invitations to everybody. Look at the invitation. You're invited to a birthday party for Maine. If you're wondering how old the birthday girl is, we're not telling, but she was born in 1820, so you do the math. Date, March 15th. But when you get to be that old, you should celebrate all year long. Time, anytime, day or night. Where, anywhere or everywhere. Within Maine's 35,385 square miles, of course. Potluck. No gifts, just bring a favorite story to share about the birthday girl. Maybe you have a favorite story about Maine. RSVP, think of what that means. ASAP, think of what that means. Then you check the Y or the N. I wonder which one you would check. As soon as the invitations arrived, RSVPs started pouring in. Aya, aya. Aya means yes when you talk in Maine. So we're going to say six of those ayas. Aya, 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 aya. It's going to be the biggest party Maine has ever seen, bragged Paul Bunyan, even bigger than me. Yikes, said Moose. Can you help me with that yikes? Say it like you mean it. Yikes. We'd better get ready, said Moose. Clomp, clomp, stomp, stomp, help me. Clomp, clomp, stomp, stomp. Get ready they did. They decorated the whole state in a festive fashion, including every single pine tree, except the ones that were still decorated from Christmas. They prepared and practiced for competitions and games, including potato sack races, snow sculpture contests, and antler ring toss, of course. They created costumes for those who wanted to dress up as famous Mainers. Think of who that famous Mainer is. Or that one. Everyone else just wore their favorite plaids and boots, the same way Moose is. He went to his favorite Maine store. They bought party favors. Whoopee! Moxie! At last it was the big day. Surprisingly, there was no stomping, no clomping. Paul Bunyan and Moose were nowhere in sight. But that didn't stop everyone else. No one wanted to miss the party of the century, or the party of 2 centuries. It was time to get this party started. Party hats for everyone. For the whale, for the black bear, even for the Augusta, our state capital. Chickadee says Moose would have looked wicked cute in that hat. A Guinness record-setting blueberry pie eating contest. Oh, imagine how many pies Paul Bunyan could eat. Toboggan sled races from the top of Katahdin all the way down to Portland Headlight. Dump truck loads of mashed potatoes filled in melted, muddy, grassy spots along the way. Chickadee says Moose and Paul Bunyan would have won this for sure. I wonder where they are. Everyone enjoyed the giant potluck buffet set up along Route 1, including baked beans, clam chowder, and touche pie. Oh my. Oh, too bad Moose and Paul Bunyan aren't here to chow down. They worked so hard on this party. From the New Hampshire border to Matinicus Island, from Kittery to the county, from the biggest city to the smallest town, and everywhere in between, everyone celebrated the way life should be. Maine's party! Bonne fête! That means happy birthday in French. Let's try it together. Bonne fête! One more time. Bonne fête! Happy birthday! Everyone celebrated, that is, except Moose and Paul Bunyan. Chickadee-dee-dee, where could they be? Help me with that. Chickadee-dee-dee, where could they be? But there was no more time for wondering. A giant logging truck rumbled to a stop. Partiers surrounded it and oohed and ahed. Can you ooh and ah? Ooh. Ah, the world's biggest birthday cake. Just as everyone was ready to dive into the cake, the top flew off. Happy birthday, Maine! Help me say what Paul Bunyan said. Happy birthday, Maine! Happy birthday, Maine. Let's say it for Moose, everybody. Happy birthday, Maine! Chickadee-dee-dee. Tee-hee-hee. Help me, everybody. Chickadee-dee-dee. Tee-hee-hee. They were hiding in that cake. In the back of the book, Mark Scott Ricketts' illustration makes me giggle. The chickadee is cleaning up the mess after the party, sweeping up the confetti and the balloons. All right, when we think about, sorry, I have floppy antlers, it's just the way they are. When we think about this book, Happy Birthday, Maine, do you think it could really happen? Can Paul Bunyan and a moose throw a birthday party for our state of Maine? No, it's make-believe. It is fiction. Let's say that together. My turn first. Make-believe is fiction. Say it with me. Make-believe is fiction. One more time. Make-believe is fiction. Let's say it the opposite way. Fiction is make-believe. Fiction is make-believe. Say it with me. Fiction is make-believe. My story is make-believe. It is fiction. Very good. But I was sneaky. And the back of the book, I put some nonfiction. I put some facts. I told facts about the state of Maine. It says the Maine scoop. And Moose says, ooh, I love ice cream. Paul Bunyan says, not that kind of scoop. It's a scoop like a newspaper scoop. Trying to fix those antlers. So I tell about Maine numbers and particulars, like what the Maine dessert is and the Maine soft drink and more, Maine geography, Maine people. And then there's a list of some famous Mainers in the back. So you could learn more about those famous Mainers if you would like. I will be doing some videos that I'll be sharing on my website too, that are sort of learning activities and ideas about Maine, since we're celebrating Maine's 200th all this year. I will share some details about some Mainers I know, Margaret Chase Smith and Dawn Fendler. So I hope you'll stay tuned for those, and I'll have some learning activities for you. Also, if you go to Happy Birthday Maine on my website, so just look at lynnplourde.com and go to the Happy Birthday Maine page, there are activities there you can check out. For example, there's activities where you can do a maze or a word search for the book, or there's a coloring page you can do for this book. There's also other activities you can check out. And one activity has a bunch of links, so you can check out the history of Maine, some of Maine's famous songs or Maine poems, or you can find out about wildlife in Maine we've lost in the last 200 years. So there's some interesting information there you might want to check out again on my website. I think I've covered everything I was supposed to cover. I hope you will celebrate Maine's birthday for the whole rest of the year. She's special, and we certainly want to enjoy her. Thank you very much for helping me, and we're going to do one more Happy Birthday Maine, everybody. Are you ready? Happy Birthday Maine!